Hello friend! In this video I want to share with you how to do this quick project that can be used as a base for your creativity, whether that's hand lettering over the top of it, adding this to your creative journal, or even using it as a piece of artwork. This project is simple yet beautiful, so let's get right into the tutorial. I am starting out with these stencils that I found in the Target dollar spot, but you could also purchase stencils online or probably at a craft store, or if you have a vinyl cutter like a Cricut or a Silhouette, you could even create your own stencils. And then I will be using these Distress Oxide inks for the color. Now you don't need as many colors as I have here, but I'm just laying mine out so I can decide which color combinations I'm going to use, but you could also use just one color. And then for the paper, I have these sheets of paper that I have cut down to be a bit smaller. However, they did start as a 9x12 and it is this Strathmore Bristol paper. This is a very smooth and thick, kind of like a cardstock type of paper, but very smooth. So it's great for finished type of artwork. I probably wouldn't use this to practice on since it is a bit more expensive than regular paper. So the first design I'm going to do are these loose lines, and I'm going to tape both my paper and the stencil down to my desk. If the paper weren't sticking to the top, I'd tape them separately, but since there is some overlap here, I am just going to tape them really securely. I want this to be secure because I'm going to have lots of pressure when I'm adding my ink, so I don't want either the paper or the stencil to slide or move. I have two different types of stampers for these inks, but I've also seen people use those flat makeup brushes with them. I haven't personally tried those myself, but these have worked well for me. Now to apply the inks, I'm just going to try to gently dab onto the paper. This stencil especially I was a bit worried about because the spaces in between the openings are so narrow, and then there are also these really long lines, so I wasn't sure if they were going to stay put. In this example, I'm just going back and forth between two colors. The beauty of these inks is how beautifully they blend together. So I'm kind of blending them into each other, but then I'm still also having the individual colors stand on their own. But in the next example, I will do it a little bit differently. So for the second one, I'm going to show you an example of using a stencil that has a bit larger of a surface area for me to color in. So instead of just these little lines, we have these leaves. I am taping my paper down first for this one because there wasn't quite enough space where I could put the tape over both of them. So the only green that I have is this really light green. And while I do like it, I wanted to add some deeper greens to it, so I'm going to spend some time combining this green with some of the blue colors that I have. This is a process that can look a bit simple at first, but if you really take your time and play around with the layering and blending, you can create some really beautiful dimension and give kind of like a faded look. You'll see me do this a couple of different ways for this one. At first, I'm laying down a layer of light green for all of them as my base, but then I'm adding a bit of light blue to some of them to create a different shade of green. Then I added some dark blue to the others, but I'm not adding color over the entire thing. I'm trying to just add some shading kind of in the middle to create a bit of a darker color in the center of the leaf. And then when I want different colors, I'm kind of brushing a bit more to blend it in. I did also put my little stamper into both the blue and the green just to kind of combine them before I got them on the paper, just to see if I could get a little bit different of a color. This is something that is fun to just play around with until you achieve the color and the dimension that you like. And now I am moving on to the third one where I'm going to show you how to create a rainbow blend. For this type of blending, I'd recommend not adding too much color until you have your spacing laid out. You can always go back and blend more or add more color on top. I do have a pink and then an orange color, but if I didn't have an orange, I would just try to spend a bit more time blending my pink into my yellow to create an orange blend. Once it's done, there are so many things you can use these for. You can hand letter right on top of these pigment inks using your brush pen. You can trim them down to frame them. You can use them as a background in your scrapbook or your journal. You can even splatter a bit of water onto them to activate the ink and create a completely different look. There are so many possibilities. So if you are a hand letterer or you enjoy paper crafting and you're looking for some beautiful and simple projects to do, I am going to create a playlist of videos that I think you will really enjoy. I have several different tutorials like this one that cover kind of more specific types of projects, and I think these are a great next step if you want something specific to practice other than your letters. So I hope you enjoy. If you have other ways that you like to use your hand lettering in art, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I will go ahead and link that playlist here, and I'll see you over in that next video.